Please don't mind me whispering. It's late. Everybody's literally sleeping. The time is currently 3 o'clock, the usual. You know how we roll here. But this video is going to be about you not only finding your purpose, but accepting the stages at which your purpose grow. Okay. So one night, randomly, whilst I was in uni, I can remember I was in 400 level. I was just, a very tired Nigerian student. Please don't mind me whispering. It's late. Everybody's literally sleeping. One day, I was in 400 level, a very, very tired Nigerian student and a very depressed one at that, because I was always gloomy on the inside, but the outside, I was always so, very, very, should I say, ecstatic. But inside, I always feel like there's a missing rib in me. It's something that cannot be explained. Even to I cannot clearly articulate them in words that, okay, this is how I feel. Okay, it was just something that just always just been staring in my heart, small, small. Sometimes I'm so yippee, and then I'm just like,
stop it. Get some help.
I don't know, it's a feeling that, girl, you're meant to do something, you're meant for something, but I didn't know what it was. I was just say sometimes mood make a man change back on, like, because I didn't feel like I was not doing what I needed to be doing. But what was I meant to be doing? That's the question. So, frontal level, I was retired, depressed, Nigeria student, like I was just over it. Like everybody was just such a struggle, especially in that uni. Oh, thank you, Jesus. For making me graduate from that school. Okay, and there used to be somebody I used to know at the time. I can't say at the time because clearly like we still talk, and miraculously I met this girl. We were staying in the same hostel. So this girl is somebody that you would really consider as kind, comforting, very, very peaceful, and she was a great listener. Like, and every time I talked with this girl, she was just so different from other people that I talked to. I don't even know why, but she was just different. With her, I could literally express myself without being altercated, like without being altered, or she was a great listener, and I felt like every time she listened to me with so much adornment in her eyes. Like, I can't explain it. It's just something I feel from her. So that's why I was comfortable through her. Like, anytime I talked with her, whenever I chatted with her, I felt like something always clicked, but I didn't know what it was. So one night I would randomly stay at the back of her window, and we would just be chatting a lot of things and talking. But outside the window, we would talk and say the worst thing, because she was in nursing student at the time. And anytime we just want to catch up, I'll just come out from my place and just go to a window, and then we'll just talk. So whenever I talk to different people, I always feel like I needed to be a certain way. I needed to talk a certain way, or I needed to have this certain mentality, because there used to be a mentality that I used to have. So I have to always show like, oh, I'm interested in this thing, or I'm doing, when genuinely speaking, I'm not. So like there was a facade in talking to other people, but with her, I feel like I was discovering myself. I was discovering things that I didn't even know genuinely was in me. So that night we were talking, and after talking to her, and I entered my room, I was back with my own thought, back in my own mind, back in my own space. I felt like, there's something about me. I don't know what it is, but that night something clicked. After speaking to this girl, something clicked. I don't know what it was, but it clicked. And then I started inquiring. Like, God, please. I started praying to God. Spiritual journey with God hasn't been something like boom. Okay, it was something that happened to me when I was in uni, when I just freshly entered uni. God bless the church I attended. It did something massive inside me. At the time, because of the church I attended, made me know God, made me relate with God, made me, have close relationship with the Almighty on a different level. And it's different. Obviously, you're young, you know that, oh yeah, cool, like God is God, but we don't know the true doctrines of Christ. We don't know how the Lord truly works. I had no spiritual journey. Let me just say we, because who are the we? Let me just speak for myself, right? But after going to school and entering that school, and I attended the church that I attended, it made me see a lot of new things about Christ, which I'm internally grateful for. That was a kickstart to my spiritual journey, right? So fast forward to talking to this girl one random night whilst I was in 400 level, right? I can't forget, I was still very much overweight. I was still very much in my own thoughts. I was still very much an overthinker. I was still very much not happy with myself, not happy with my appearance, not happy with who I was. Everything about me was not something I genuinely looked to, because I felt like I was somebody that needed to do more to be more. I felt like I needed to be an example with whatever it is I represent. I want to represent. I don't want to be a facade or something. No, if I'm talking like this, I want to talk from a place of vigor. Is vigor the right word? I want to talk from the place of essentiality, because I know that me to have passed through the test sometimes. So I go lie for you. I don't feel like for you now because me myself, I've been there, right? So after talking to that girl, I felt like God, there is something like I'm good at, but like I don't know what it is I'm good at because it's speaking actually a thing, it's talking like it's actually a thing. Because whenever I talked, that girl genuinely listened, and I could see the amazement in her eyes all the time. And she always lessened known to me that whenever you talk, your energy and everything. And I feel like other people knew as well, but I was oblivious to it because I think I always waited for the feedback of other people. But the other people I just usually talk to were not the people that would have allowed me realize what I truly was in my own, should I say, in my own habitat or in my own element. Okay, so that night I just asked God, like the way I normally, you guys, the person that entered fire last forgot to close the door. Ori moment, this is literally like there's heat. Anyway, back to the story. People, I fasted. I prayed so much that God, please help me know my purpose. I didn't even know what to pray about because it was just a tingling sensation. It was something that dawned upon me every time. Like I couldn't let myself go. See, 9 times of 10 throughout every day at the time, I would always go through an episode of just depressed. Like I'm just depressed. And if you tell me why I'm depressed, I don't know, because I always feel like I'm not doing what I was meant to be doing. Do you understand? Imagine now you have a job and they tell you that, oh, your deadline is Thursday. And it keeps, that feeling in your heart keeps saying, oh, you're shaking, like you're meant to do this thing. That feeling you get that, hey, my deadline is on Thursday. Hey, that's anxiousness. It's not anxiousness, it's not nervousness. It's because even if you don't reach the deadline, it's like nothing will happen. But at the same time, you just know that there are consequences. Or I don't know, Sha, you just feel that rush in your heart, Sha. I don't know the word to use, right? So I prayed to God that night. After that night, nothing happened though. Hey, I looked at myself in the mirror and I can remember it's 2022. It was definitely 2022, thereabout. I got that epiphany, right? Nothing happened until one day I just decided that, fuck this shit. I'm just gonna change the way I look. Before that, I used to have a YouTube channel, right, where I would talk, but every time I opened the camera, it's different from talking to people. So every time I spoke with that girl, I felt like I had I spoke a particular way, but I didn't even know what it was. I didn't know whether I had a gift for it, or I didn't know what the purpose of me talking like that was meant to be. Like I didn't know what it meant, right? So I had a YouTube channel and I would always talk on there, but I always felt like I was not in my right element. So it was always hard for me to talk. Sometimes I would switch on the camera, like I literally know what I want to say, but I would not be able to put it in words because I just feel like I was not able to say that in front of the camera. I was not always this confident in front of the camera. Anyway, I opened my YouTube channel. There were days like I would talk, but I'll be like, hey, when I open the camera, I don't know what to say, but I know what to say in my head. And when I'm talking to people, I know what to say. But how come I don't have the confidence to talk to the camera? Because how much do I want to sit people down and talk to them about things? I just feel like they were into my audience, but at the same time, I didn't know who my audience was. I wasn't able to get the words out. I didn't like the way I looked. Everything was just going on for me. Like I would look at the camera and be like, hey, like I was like, that one will give me small morale, but it doesn't matter. I need to be confident. Inside me, I will still feel like but I'll always try to push past whatever it is that I felt, just to get the message out there. But it never happened. And then I'll pray to God again that it's one thing to know what you want to say, it's one thing to be able to deliver what you want to say confidently. Because you cannot be on the camera and be like, hey guys, that's not who I am. I don't talk in slow pace. I'm Mulak Lara. Like I always have this vigor, this strength. Like whenever I'm talking, I always have this tenacity. So in front of the camera and like I'm talking like slow pace and I'm muffling my words. Like the flow is not just there. It's so fucking boring. Even me, I could barely watch myself. I just felt like something was wrong somewhere. I prayed to God so many times. I fasted so many times. Shit. You would think that I got my answer next month. Fast forward to next year. Okay? Fast forward to the next year. I got that epiphany that, baby girl, it's time to lose your freaking weight. I've talked about this on my channel before. Okay? It's time for you to lose weight. And I'm like, what does my weight have to do with anything? If you're going to do this long term, I literally had in my spirit, like, and it wasn't something that I tried to do because I've always tried to lose weight for years. I actually did lose weight, but I couldn't keep up with it. Because there was no intentionality behind it. If you've not seen that video, you need to go to my page and watch that video, right? So I felt like, why do I need to lose weight? But God was literally telling me, stand up. It is time for you to grow into this peace. I was not like, okay, yeah, whatever. Like, I'm just gonna do it, right? And to think that I've been prolonging losing weight for the longest time, okay? But when it was time for me to lose weight, I can remember I was traveling home from school that day and I opened the front camera and I looked at myself. I'm like, hey, oh damn, no big guy, be this. I'm like, this is time for me to actually lose weight. And after that time, I still did not lose weight though. God made me so uncomfortable in my skin. I can remember I would always call my sister that I'm not confident, because my sister was the kind of person that she knows how to instill that you have to love yourself first. It's not about your weight. I was like saying, alright, I don't feel confident. I don't feel that love I need to feel for myself, because I genuinely knew I love myself, but I just felt like I had to feel the love that I have for myself in the fullest form. And whenever I looked at myself in the camera, it just wasn't it. And I told her that I wanted to go on a weight loss, and she was just trying to just remind me that, I just need you to love yourself regardless, whether you lose weight or not. If you don't love yourself, there's nothing that will comfort. Okay, clock it. Okay, so the following year, 2023, I'm like, I'm actually going to lose weight after being uncomfortable. You guys, I will sit down, I'll be crying like this. I have videos, but to be tracking through my Snapchat, it's just a lot of work. But I was crying every day. I would just be tearing up, because I had habits. I needed to let go of. I needed to stop binge eating. I needed to leave habits that weren't genuinely healthy for me. God needed me to tackle that physical part of my life. He needed me to tackle my eating habits. Why was I always eating like that? Because I was such in a depressive episode. So every time I ate, I felt full. And whenever I felt full, I always feel better. But the better that I felt was always short-lived. It's like when you have a particular high, you have an high, and definitely when the high has been tranquilized, or is tranquilized the word, or maybe when the high is faded, everything comes back. So you want to get high again to distinguish the former high, actually eradicate the former high that had been. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, do you actually understand? So I feel like God needed me to fix my relationship with food and fix my relationship with myself, and I wasn't particularly even in a relationship that was also like alien for me. Mind you, I was 19 when I was having all this epiphany. I was 19, I was moving to 20, right? So yeah, when I was 20, I needed to tackle these disorders, and I needed to be in my own self and understand what was truly happening. And I felt like tackling my physical body was the first step I needed to overcome, right? So I would just, I tried so many methods in losing weight, and I freaking lost the weight. Okay, I actually did. And trust me, even when I did lose the weight, I put a hold on my YouTube, I put a hold on everything, and still that sensational feeling was always there. Okay, I'm meant for something. I want to do something with so much passion, with so much figures, with so much tenacity. Even when I would engage in different businesses, I had different businesses I was doing, because I felt like maybe content creation wasn't just for me. So I would just put it aside. But everything it is that I did, content creation always sat behind my mind, that I want to be in front of the camera. I have to be in front of the camera. Like, there's something about me being in front of the camera. Do you understand? But if I'm in front of the camera, I don't just want to be in front of the camera. I want to be able to do something whilst being in front of the camera. At the time, I didn't even know it was to even impact. I just knew that I wanted to be in front of the camera. I just felt like I was just liked it. But then I'd already surpassed from being in front of the camera, but also purposefully being in front of the camera. It's one thing to be in front of the camera. It's one thing to know why you're in front of the camera, like what value are you giving out, right? But I didn't know any of that, right? So I went on the weight loss journey, and I put a stop to my YouTube at the time to creating, because I didn't understand create. I didn't understand what I was creating, because I wanted to be a content creator, but I wanted to genuinely do something that I was genuinely good at, and something that literally fulfill my heart. But what I was doing at the time, it did not fulfill my heart. I just felt like I was just fooling on there. Okay, so I went on the weight loss because I had one epiphany from one girl, just one random night, because she genuinely listens to me. Okay, she made me see the light that I had not seen. She made me see it in 4D, 3D. I can't tell you that, because of that night, maybe that's why I just transitioned. But that night played a huge role. Okay, I just finished Hallelujah Challenge, and I don't sleep at night. So it's like, that thing literally clicked to me. So you would think like, I lost all the old weight now. Let me start talking in front of the camera. Nah. That was another turmoil. Okay, and then I clocked 20, and I clocked 20, right? And that's when a lot of spirituality started rolling in. You would think I've lost weight now. Yeah, baby girl. Now, after dealing with my habits and after I've hacked how I would be confident in my body, how it wasn't something that happened overnight. It wasn't that took months. It took years. I mean, for me to get to this stage, I mean, it's 2 years now. It's been 2023. I'm in 2025. So it took stages. It wasn't something that I lost with. Yeah, next, I think it probably took a year. It took the whole of 2023 because I started losing weight genuinely and more actively after my birthday, April. And I think I started July or thereabout. And the whole of that year, I used it to lose weight. Then 2024, I started asking myself plenty questions because at the time I was going through a really, really rough time with my own relationship with myself, my own relationship I had at the time, with my friendship, even with my existence as a whole. I started questioning a lot of things. You see the pattern. You see how the pattern keeps coming. You see how I pray to God how I want to be a content creator or I want to be in front of the camera, but I didn't know how going to go about it. It didn't just say, oh yeah, because you want to, you prayed about it, oh yeah, take bam. No. You see how it was metamorphing me into becoming something for myself, into having a stance and rigidness and a story to tell. Exactly. That's how you tell that pretty sums of the kind of person God is, right? So I was away, I went through a lot of physical, emotional turmoil that made me see, I want Chris for that 2024. Because I'll tell you, if I have memory loss, I can't forget that 2024. It was a lot. It was a lot on my being. And whilst going through all that, I figured I also wasn't the person that just wanted to post lifestyle. I mean, I wanted to, but all those things were somehow meant to be part of my journey, but it's not meant to be it's not meant to be the entirety of why I'll be in front of the camera. Okay, I want to post lifestyle content, but at the same time, I want to genuinely do something that fulfills my heart, something that allows that feeling to disappear. Something that, when you're on the right track, you're on the right track. I am on the right track. I'm so grateful to God. It took so much to get here. Beauty, don't tear up. You're in front of the camera. Why are you going to be crying? That's not very demure. Why would I be crying? It took so much for me to get here, and I'm just eternally grateful to God. And after so much turmoil in 2024, I got here. After so much praying, fasting, unsurety, I got here. Because what? Because of just one single epiphany. And you see how the processes of things came to life. Even after I lost the weight and after the turmoil, the doubt, okay, a lot of things crippled inside me. Because now, God needed me to start speaking. He needed me to just start sharing my own personal experience, and I'm like, wait, what? You see, when I wanted to become a content creator, I genuinely had no encounter. I had no experiences to share. Then it was just more like I was just doing things because I wanted to do things. It was different, right? But now it's more like I have so much. I'm so grateful because I have unlimited things to share to everybody. So much to share. Right? And it can only be good because this thing literally fulfills my heart. Even though at first I was scared of being like, out there. It's crazy because all your life to be out there, it can be crazy, but this is what genuinely fulfills me. Like, it makes no sense, right? But it actually does make sense because it fulfills my heart. I feel like I'm doing what I need to do. I'm out here whilst doing it. I'm on track whilst doing it. Even though a lot of things can get wishy-washy sometimes, I just feel like this is where I'm meant to be. I cannot explain it to anybody, but this is how I feel, right? So if you're going through a pattern at which you really want to discover what your purpose is, I will tell you, it takes time. You can't rush the process. You think like, oh, okay, I've lost weight now. Oh, yeah, let me start talking in front of the camera. In fact, all the words in my mouth disappeared. I was now confused. I didn't even know what to share, what not to share. Sometimes I'll just sit there and get dressed and look in front of the camera and just go like, because I don't know, a lot of things just didn't feel right. A lot of things just did not feel right, and it's not something I could place in words, right? So like, fast forward to everything God brought me out in, my emotional distress, the doubt it is I've passed through, the emotional roller coaster, the amount of speech impediment I've had in the past, the amount of inability to actually articulate my words properly to be able to deliver a message, the amount of confidence that God had to instill back in me, the amount of knowledge that God had to put inside me. I'm just a small girl. I'm eternally grateful to God because if I did not have that one epiphany, if I did not go through the hardship that I went to, because that losing weight is one thing that I genuinely did and I was successful at, which made me see life in a whole different way. It's made me see life in a whole different way. Like, the amount of epiphany I got from ordinary weight loss. Hey, oh chim. After that process, and now God needed me to churn my inside. He needed to destroy, eradicate, mold, metamorph things inside me to be able to finally get to where I am now. Oh chim, God is truly a God that divinely orchestrates things. Like, you don't force it. Don't worry. Everything sums up to one. Because me, I know I needed my confidence. I know I needed to be knowledgeable. I know I needed to be free. I know I needed to be childlike because I know I lost my spark along the way. The transition. Do you know how God transitioned me? He transitioned me in the most craziest way that in my life I would never, ever, ever have thought that God would transition me that way. Okay. It literally took everything away from me. Ideal knowledge, the things I used to think were normal, societal standards, maybe outlook, my demeanor changed. Everything changed about me. Like, I can't even barely recognize myself because who is this girl talking with so much knowledge, so much grace, so much, so much ecstasy, because I'm in front of the camera, I'm talking however I want to talk, I'm behaving however I want to behave, without the fear of being judged or perceived or feeling like I have to have this thing before I'll be able to deliver something, before I have to be like this. It took a lot to get here. We currently don't have lights right now because I'm in Nigeria. They take light anytime they want and they bring it anytime they want. Nothing for us. But yeah, this is everything it is that I've jotted down. I told you guys in my last video, I'm not somebody that genuinely jots down and reads from it. If I jot something down, the spirit will wire me to say something else. Need to understand. This one too will come in handy, trust me. But it never comes out it never freshly comes out how it comes in. It's just a different outlet. Like, my inlet is different from the outlet. Yeah, I wrote the process of a seed growing. Okay, that was me taking you through, physical instances and actual physical examples that would literally make you grow. So all in all, I would say the process at which I became was the process of a seed germinating. Okay, you see, before a seed actually germinates, okay, I don't know how to say it again. That's really crazy. And if I turned on the camera, I was literally flowing properly. But now I don't just know what to say anymore. But I want you to know that when you want to know the process at which your purpose comes, it comes in different forms. It comes through your environment. It comes through the people around you. It comes through you yourself. And it comes through different variants. But I want you to know that a seed that will blossom into something large, something beautiful, cannot be stopped. I used the tree in my house as a reference as well. I have a tree outside my house. That tree did not grow for like 3 years. It was stagnant. It was very little, like stagnant for 3 years. My family and I can remember so well. My family and I would always contemplate, because your kini could grow. Okay, so we would be like, let's just leave it, because we thought that where we had planted it was the reason why the seed was not growing. Okay, even me, I thought whilst I was uni, I thought like maybe because of I was in school, that's why I wasn't growing. That was why I wasn't getting the answers I needed to get. In school, I had so many epiphanies because I was feeling like, you see people around me, is it where I am, my environment? I questioned a lot of things. But let me tell you, something that will blossom would blossom. Okay, it took 3 years for that tree to grow. It was stagnant for so long. Okay, and where we exactly built that tree wasn't something that was memorable. It was not a soil that was memorable. Like, when you want to build something, like especially a plant, you want to grow a plant rather, the soil matters. Okay, the soil matters or destroys whatever it is you want to build. And I can remember clearly, it was somewhere we actually sowed that seed or sowed that plant. It was somewhere it was a borehole we had closed. So you know how they close borehole, right? I don't know if you're Nigeria or if you're from Nigeria, you know that they use clay soil. They pour in an amount of sand to fill up that place because that place wasn't producing enough water. So that was where we planted the seed. Sorry, that was where we planted the plant, right, or the seed. I can't even remember, but I can remember that it was so tiny, right? For years, 3 years or thereabout, it did not pass that stage. It did not pass that stage. Even when it passed the stage, it just grow kinkini. It just grow small, and we just left it because we just felt like with time. Okay, fast forward to like 2 years later, this tree There's no way you cannot sight this tree from. It's taller than the house. It's tall. You can sight it from miles and miles and miles away because it's so tall, and the fact that it's so tall now, it's strong, it's rigid. It took time for it to get there. The soil didn't matter. Waiting go blossom, go blossom. Okay, so I use that in point of contact in my own situation as well. It didn't matter what it is I went through. It didn't matter what it is I'm going through. Okay, the fact that I'm gonna blossom cannot take that away. Okay, it might take time. I don't even know. It might take years. Shit. It might even take years or months. I do not know. But I want you to know that if you're going to blossom, you will blossom. It takes processes in time. It takes process to get to where you're going to. Sometimes your answered prayer will not come to you, bam. Sometimes you know your purpose will not come to you, bam. Sometimes you need to genuinely pass through different stages to be able to get to your answered prayer. And I'm so grateful to God that I might not have everything it is I want to have. I might not have everything it is that I thought I'm going to have to get to this stage. I might not even be where I think I'll be, right? But I'm grateful to God for the ecstasy, for the childlike tendency, for the spark, for the clarity, for the rightfulness, for the purpose, for the willingness, the joy that this comes with, and how I am where I am now, and how everything it is that I'm dealing with is such in motion, and is such, I just feel so right, and everything feels so right, and I'm eternally, externally, internally grateful to Almighty Jehovah for bringing me up to this stage. Who would have thought? Even last year, I didn't even think I'll be alive. Okay, so going through those processes in time just made me see a lot more different things, and obviously I will still go in depth. Maybe I'll just talk about that on TikTok since it's so short-lived. Okay, so yeah, this was what I wanted to share to you guys, and the time is like 3 something now, like maybe 3. The time is 3:24. I'm genuinely ecstatic to what this is going to yield for me and what it really means in my life. And even if it doesn't mean so much, I'm so glad that that feeling of urgency, that feeling of you're meant to do something is gradually clearing. The clarity is here. I know that I'm meant to speak. Like, I now know what my purpose is. I'm now working in my purpose, and I'm so grateful to God. And I will never forget what He told me earlier of 2025. He told me to just seek the kingdom of God, and everything else shall be added unto me. And I'm so grateful to God for this epiphany. And you cannot sense the joy in my heart. I'm grateful because a small girl like me, hey, oh Jim, I'm so grateful to Jehovah. I'm so grateful to God. So if you're going through this type of thing as well, I want you to take time. Okay, don't worry, God knows what He's doing. Everything works together. I had to lose weight because I needed to be confident. I needed to feel beautiful in and out to be able to be confident to talk. Okay, because I knew that the fact that I wasn't confident, it was stopping me from actually talking properly, and God needed me to speak in the way at which I spoke and in the way I speak off of the camera, right? God needed to take away a lot of belief system that I had in myself and around me to be able to put in His own knowledge, because two things cannot stay in place. Have you ever heard light and darkness exist? It's not possible. I needed to let go of one thing for God to be able to fully take over, for God to be able to put things in my heart to speak and how to talk about things. And He needed to nurture me. He needs to nurture me. He's still nurturing me, right? If He didn't allow me to get through toxic friendships, toxic relationships, I wouldn't be able to see the light in myself, because then I would always think I wasn't enough. I was always doing too much. He needed me to be by myself. He needed me to be with Him. He needed me to journey with Him. He needed me to be close by. He needed to see my face all the time. I needed me to see His face all the time. Okay. He needed me to always be with Him. He needed me not to overthink things. He needed to heal past traumas. He needed to mold me in ways that He could actually understand. Beauty, don't cry. Oh, that's not demure. This is a feeling that I cannot explain to anybody. It's just me. It's just between me and God. Like, it's something that we understand. Our little cute secret. Like, I tell you, when the foundation is rigid, even the time of storms tells for it. And I'm so grateful for this part. I can't imagine any other part apart from this part that God is taking me through. It's hard. It was hard. It's hard. But I'm grateful to God for making me beauty-touched, making me the way I am, making me walk in my purpose, making me realize what He has in store for me. And if you're going through something like, don't worry, time will tell. Let me tell you, it might take years. Don't worry, just calm down. All of us have different things we are to do in life. See, we all have different assignments, okay? It might not even be the fact that I might be popular or I might be famous. It might be me just wanting to help just one person through my videos, and the person that would help, and the person would literally help millions and gazillions of people. And you just never know how God works. You never know. Now I don't even expect anything from my content creation, because now I'm just happy to be here, bro. Like, I have undiluted content all the time. I can switch up the camera any day, anytime, and I will just talk, because I know everything that comes out from my mouth would make sense. Can anything beat that? Nothing can beat that. I don't have to practice. I don't have to do anything. God is genuinely giving me what to say. Like, can anything beat that? Nothing. Please, if you're going through the test of time, go through it. Okay? For what? Joy is in the morning. Let's not forget. Okay? So yeah, thank you so much for listening to me. And I also pray and hope that everything it is you're going through in finding your purpose, I pray it's not hard, and I pray it's not late. I pray that you get the obedience fast. Okay? Because some of you people are so lackadaisical. I'm like, oh my God, I don't want it hard. Yeah, of course it will be hard. What do you think, roses? The fuck? Like, what do you think this is? Disney? No. Definitely it will be hard. Prepare your brain. It will be hard, but there's nothing that can take you. Okay? Even if they surround you like sand, even if the problems, the predicaments, the people, the situations surround you like sand, you know how numerous sand is? God is going to give everything into your hands. As long as you're with God and you put your trust in the Lord, you will never be put to shame. Imagine me walking with all these things in my head, knowing fully well I have somebody that genuinely loves me and is always by my side. Come on, I can do no wrong. I literally cannot do any wrong. Okay? So wait it out. You can try, you can do it. And if you want to ask me any questions at all, because I'm going to keep sharing my journey with you guys, if you want to ask me any questions at all, please hit me up on my social medias. It's Taj Talks everywhere. Instagram or TikTok or, well, literally I don't have Snapchat and I don't have Twitter, but get the point, right? Hit me up and I'll happily share things to you, like, oh, this is what you should do. Yeah, this is about it. Anyway, thank you guys for watching my video. Please subscribe to my channel. Okay, my name is Beauty Taj and this is Taj Talks. Okay, how do you guys like that ending? Feel like saying now what I'm going to say for my video with that. That's what I'm going to be saying, like, for my videos. That's so tea. Anyway, toodles. Bye.